Well, hey, Taurus gang, this is your relationship reading. We're going to read for those of you involved, as well as those of you interested in an ex, and then we're going to read for all of you guys at the end of this video, okay? This is for you if you have Taurus in your sun, moon, rising, or Venus placement. Rising many times is referred to as ascendant, so don't get confused on that. If you don't know your chart, your zodiac placements, you can follow the link in my description box and get all of those so that you can watch those with me and other tarot readers. And while you're in the description box, you will see instructions if you want to delve into basically any topic in more detail, okay? You can see how to book a personal reading with me. I've got directions for the various kinds that I am currently offering, okay? So with that being said, Taurus gang, I hope if you haven't already done so, you'll subscribe. The likes and comments are greatly appreciated. They really help me and other YouTubers, so we really do appreciate you guys doing that, okay? So at any rate, with that being said, Taurus, let's get started, okay? We're going to take a peek at their energy, your energy, and we're going to get a probable outcome based on the current energies, okay? All right. Let's take a look. All right. Their energy, okay, you may be dealing with a Cancer. You have fire energy, which is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. You have air, water. Air is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Water is Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. You have Leo specifically, and Earth, which is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. So you have all the zodiacs in the minors, but in the majors specifically, you have Cancer and Leo, maybe not. But let's take a look at this thing. All right. So clearly there are some struggles, okay? This could be, let's just call it like I said, this could be a reconciliation with a past person. Okay, you have the Judgment card. That's in your energy. But the Judgment card also is a reminder that outcomes are not set in stone and that a judgment call many times may be needed, okay? So, you know, and that is in your energy, okay? Now, you know, really, okay, I want to start with your energy, okay? Which I don't always do that, but I do go where I'm intuitively led. So let's just talk about this, Taurus. In your energy, all right, you have the Ace of Cups reversed. You have the Judgment card, of course. We talked about that. You have the Ace of Cups reversed and the Ten of Wands reversed. Ace of Cups reversed is really not feeling a lot of optimism or faith in the situation, okay? And really needing to take a time out and doing some healing, okay? And the Ten of Wands is basically the same thing, kind of needing to go inside and do some energy work. So apparently you've got a judgment call to make on something relative to this situation, okay? And, you know, universe is saying you need to go inside to figure this out. That's kind of what I'm getting in your energy. Ten of Wands in the reverse many times can speak to a lack of perspective, lack of clear vision. And the reason is because of not going into solitude to do, to many times, you know, hear your intuitive voice. Okay, now let's talk about your person's energy. We're going to bring all this together, okay? But the Chariot, first of all, the Chariot is in reverse. This could be a distance issue, either energetically or, you know, geographically. Could involve a change of address, certainly. Okay. But, you know, Chariot is in reverse, okay? Many times that can speak to kind of holding back, resistant, okay? And you've got the Queen of Wands, which can speak to controlling energy or kind of a hidden agenda, but it's not really all that hidden. They just think it is, okay? But, you know, I think, here's what I think, okay? I think when you guys came together, you thought you were relationship ready. Obviously, you wouldn't have done so, okay? But I think this person's issues goes back to a past situation. Now, for those of you that this was a reconciliation, certainly could relate to the debacle in your own past with this person. But for those of you that this was not a reconciliation, this probably relates to something that has nothing to do with you, okay? It is not baggage from the current connection. I do see that, okay? It is stuff from their own past. Now, timeline-wise, they are starting to work through some things because you have the Three of Swords in reverse, and that is certainly a card that speaks to mending of the heart, you know, patching up wounds and kind of working through baggage, shadow work, if you will, okay? And, you know, it's like there are still clouds out there, but your person starts to work through things. That's kind of where I see this thing headed, okay? I think that this hidden thing is probably that your person had not, you know, was still kind of hung up on something from the past, whether it was you in the past or another person, okay? And they really were trying to keep you from knowing it. Or maybe they were hiding it from themselves. Could be that, okay? But, you know, your person starts to work through it, okay? And, you know, I think you kind of go inside. I think you make the judgment call to, because the judgment card reminds us it's never too late, okay? To make any kind of necessary changes. And that kind of leaves it up to you, okay? But here's the thing. What's really interesting is going forward, this thing kind of takes a turn for the better. Energetically, it is slated to. Now, it's going to take both people doing the work to make that happen, okay? Because if one does the work and the other one doesn't, then energetically you won't be aligned and it will cause friction, which is actually, you know, just scientifically the repelling of unlike energy, okay? Okay, but it leads, you actually step into a place where, you know, you end up making a decision. You got the Two of Pentacles here, okay? And, you know, that certainly speaks to initial accomplishment. You've got two cards in your probable outcome that are pentacles. Pentacles are many times saying you have to work through things and trust the process, divine timing, and patience, okay? But I like this because you've got two cards that speak to strong possibility of something being lasting and long-term and happy, okay? And that is this. You have the Sun card, okay, which is, you know, it can be a marriage card, but it's overall happiness and success, okay? And it does speak to a happiness in a long-term relationship many times, okay? Optimism, heading in the right direction. So it's almost like a timeline here because you have this, which is initial accomplishment that came out first, you know, to this side, you know, reading left to right like I do many times. And then you have this, you know, you have initial accomplishment, okay? Then you have heading in the right directions and things start to working well, success and happiness. And then you have the Ten of Pentacles, which is like the ultimate abundance, okay? You may very well work with this person, or this person may have financial abundance, or you may, okay? That, you know, can certainly speak to that, but not always. But this is a relationship reading, so we're talking about abundance in the relationship dynamic specifically, okay? And long-term abundance here, okay? You know, patience is needed many times when this card comes up, the Two of Pentacles, okay? So, you know, I think it has a lot of possibility, certainly slated for success. The advice is always to, you know, do the work to keep it that way, okay? Stay on track with this thing because, you know, I mean, you know, I can't tell you what to do, but I can tell you that getting complacent will rock this energetic, you know, snapshot that we just took, okay? And it will put things on a different path, okay? For either one of you, okay? So with that being said, I hope that kind of helps, okay? So if you are interested in what is up with your past Taurus folks, your past person, maybe they've reached out to you, maybe you're kind of thinking about them, thinking about reaching out, or just kind of curious about the past person, we're going to take a look at their energy and make some predictions about that. We're going to look at their energy towards you, your energy as it relates to them, and a probable with them, okay? So let's take a look. Let's take a look, Taurus. Let's take a look. Okay. Their energy. Well, you know what? It's kind of interesting. Okay. All right, so in the minors, you have water, earth, water, fire, and air. So that's all 12 of the zodiac signs in the minors. Wow. We have water, we have Sagittarius specifically, and we have air. Okay, so anyway, all right, for what it is worth, you know, I am always very cautious about predicting reconciliations. I'm going to give that caveat, so you obviously know where this is headed. But let's break this down just a smidge, okay? Taurus, hear me out. Your person has had a tower moment or is about to. That is the card of rude awakening. It's often unpleasant, and it is when the truth literally, boom, hits you in the face, okay? And so here's what happens. You got, you know, you have the Tower card, okay? Then you have the Six of Cups in the reverse, which speaks to working through emotional baggage, which is doing some work and stepping into a place of maturity. Why? Because they got the King of Pentacles, okay? And that's at the center of their energy, okay? The maturity and the higher vision and the stability and just being grounded and solid and wise and mature is all associated with the King of Pentacles. And I don't read gender, so this, you know, I may be talking about a guy or a girl as it relates to your person, okay? So take that as it resonates, okay? But it's very practical, brilliant, financially savvy many times, and certainly financially responsible. Many times it's somebody who works with numbers, maybe, but not always. But okay, in business, whatever. Okay, your energy. All right, so I think you're really focused on some stuff that happened, okay? And maybe there was some deceit in the situation, some dishonesty, okay? Or betrayal of some sort, because you have the Five of Swords here, okay? You're very mindful of that. And I don't blame you, okay? I don't blame you, all right? There was some turmoil in the past, and you ain't forgot it, okay? There was probably also some emotional immaturity and maybe some selfishness that you dealt with, okay? Page of Cups and the reverse. Could have had some problems involving children as well, but probably immaturity, deception, many times is what I'm seeing with those two cards, okay? You, however, have been doing some healing yourself. Why? At the very center of your energy is the Three of Wands in the upright, which, and I'm going to give you everything about that card is positive, but it is a card of self-healing, which is amazing because, okay, I don't think you fully healed. And, you know, I'm not throwing shade here, okay? And, of course, you could be anywhere on this timeline, okay? Keep this in mind, too. But the most of you, you're healing and you're on the right path of this thing. And the Three of Wands certainly speaks to making progress, having the skills and the abilities and the courage to see this thing through, and success. It is a card of patience many times, you know, of your ship coming in, okay? So, you know, yes, you're recovering from some things. Okay, that's fine. Your person is working through some things or has worked through some things as well, okay? Where are you headed? Well, it's kind of interesting, okay? Because, all right, here's the thing. I think you guys are a little bit nervous about this thing, understandably, okay? Seven of Swords, you're really concerned that it won't go well. Someone is. Maybe both of you. Okay, but someone is. You got the Seven of Swords here, okay? And I think, you know, maybe the situation is not moving along as quickly as you want. Maybe that's the problem because the Seven of Swords, the literal meaning of that card is things are not going like you hoped, okay? It's not necessarily always a bad card. I mean, it's not a good card, but it talks about the need to work smarter and not harder many times. And, you know, being able to have a positive mindset, okay? Now, you know, there is a love offer here, the Knight of Cups. This is a strong soul connection. So you really, really need to check out my Twin Flame Soulmate Soul Connection series. They're like 6 to 10 minutes apiece. And there's 5 of them, and it's really going to help you if you have that intense soul connection. And you know what I'm talking about, where you kind of feel like you meet the traditional definitions within the twin flame community of twin flames, okay? And if you watch this, you'll understand that my take on this is totally different, okay? Yes, they are soul connections, but my take on their purpose and all of that is totally different. A healthy relationship with a strong soul connection is a beautiful thing, but the only way that can happen, and here's my caveat, is if you guys are both really, really intently committed to daily doing the energy work. Otherwise, it's going to go toxic really, really fast, okay? But you have the Knight of Cups here. That's the heart's true home. That's like saying, you know, I went halfway around the world, and I, looked for everything, and at the end of the day, it was you all along. I mean, that's that energy behind that card, okay? It's emotional availability. And it is a desire to settle down and be in this thing for the long term, okay? Now, let's talk about what's at the center of this thing. You have the card of hope and healing and balance and divine timing and trusting the process and patience. All of those things are associated with the Temperance card. Do I think you will head in the right direction? Yes, I do. This is all about doing energy work, trusting the process, letting things unfold organically. Don't force, okay? Just trust. And then you'll have this, okay? So there's no need to get in a hurry on this thing. It's slated for goodness. Certainly things can change, okay? That person can have an influence over the energy. So can you, okay? In a good or a bad way, okay? But, you know, if they're not committed to doing the energy work, trust and believe me when I say this, if you get involved with a strong soul connection and one of the two of you is not doing energy work, you are headed to a dumpster fire. Can I just say it like it is and speak my truth? So if they're not doing the thing, then trust and believe, you really want to dodge that bullet. Anyway, do I see that happening? No, I don't. I see you guys headed for a good place. I think there is work here, but it definitely has potential. Does this make sense? Okay. Love to hear from you guys in the comments on this thing. Okay. Let's get some overall advice for you guys going forward for both if you're in a relationship or you're, looking at your past person. Let's get some overall advice for my Taurus friends. Let's take a look, Taurus. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. One more shuffle's going to do it, Taurus. You're the second sign of the zodiac. Therefore, we're going to do 2 shuffles for you and 2 cuts. There we go. 1 and 2. Here we are. Okay. All right. So, face disappointments as they appear. See them for what they are. Don't allow others' pessimism to affect you to where you wallow in self-pity. Okay. Set boundaries, avoid being competitive, okay? I'm giving the advice from the 5 of Swords, okay? This is in the advice. Do not jump to conclusions and don't be quick to react, okay? Just take everything in, don't be combative. Be open and upfront, okay? Don't try to hide who you are and don't try to hide, certainly there is, a time to speak your truth. But, just be open and honest, whatever it means, okay? You have the Empress card here as well. By the way, Aries and Virgo for what it's worth. But, okay. Trusting your intuition. Nurturing yourself, doing self-care, okay? Nurturing your relationship with yourself by doing energy work, shadow work when needed, self-care, okay, which can come in many forms. It can be that bubble bath, spiritual bath, pedicure, long drive, whatever, okay? And then you have the 9 of Pentacles, okay? Very nice card, okay? When you find successes, don't forget to thank and acknowledge the people who helped you along your path, okay? And don't be, certainly that is a card of with an independent energy, and it is a card of success. But it's about, many of you are headed for abundance. But you know, it's all about acknowledging people who helped you along your path. You know, don't forget where you came from, kind of thing, right? You know, and don't be overly focused on losses, okay? Certainly learn the lessons, work through the feels, okay? But don't fear manifesting repeat failures, because that's exactly what you will do if you are so overly focused on avoiding something having another, you know, disaster. That's what you're going to manifest. I know that's not what you want. That's not what you intend when you set out that way. But if you're fear-based, that's what you're going to manifest, okay? So let's get you a quote real quick, and we will go from there, Taurus folks, okay? Let's get you a quote. What was my greatest loss? I like this one. What was my greatest loss? Want to know? Nothing. Why? What is meant for me remains. What was not meant for me left. Boom. And here we go again. We talked about this. Speak the truth, even when your voice shakes. You know, I know you Taurus people are a little bit shy to speak your truths. My daughter's a Taurus, and we were having that very conversation the other day. You know, the Gemini people, we have no problem. Our problem is like, you know, keeping the edge and the sword out of our tongue, right? Where we're not just cutting when we say things, okay? And the universe has shaken you to awaken you. I like that one too. That's an oldie but a goodie. But okay, so Taurus folks, subscribe if you haven't already done so. Join my family, right? Thumbs up if you don't mind. And also comment below, okay? And hit me up for personal reading if you like, okay? Many, many blessings to all of you guys. And I will talk to you again soon.